It's like the banning of books. People are being denied this information that allows them to be politically informed.
Critical race theory is a framework for looking at the experiences of people of color, in particular Black people, in the United States. Critical race theory is examining life experiences, examining society, examining history with race as the center.
My opinion on critical race theory is that it is extremely important for everybody to know about. I think in this country, racism has been reduced down to an individual level where it's much more systemic and deeply rooted in the country's history.
There is a one-size-fits-all kind of story or narrative that's told. It's typically told from those who are in a dominant position to just give students a skewed perspective. It doesn't develop their critical thinking skills, does not enable them to understand how our country, as great as it is, could have the problems that it does.
I think the ban on critical race theory will affect the way that students are informed as citizens of America. Outside of schools, there can be a lot of bias in the way that students form their opinions, whether their views are coming from their parents or their peers. So if this is something that is completely cut out of schools, they might not ever know about this.
Our world is becoming more diverse. And rather than try to put things in place to alter the growth of our country, we really need to focus on how can we capitalize on the growth and diversity of our country.
The banning of critical race theory has affected the way I view being an educator in the future, just because it does make me have less faith in the education system, honestly. It's very disappointing to see this very big part of our history be erased from what can be taught in schools, but it does motivate me more to want to be a teacher because I really want to be a positive influence in the education system.
Educate others, become allies, and educate those around us. Help them to understand why it's important to support critical race theory and how, in order for us to fully be human, we have to see everyone as human.
People are literally being denied access to information. These students might not ever know about critical race theory and how it has affected our country and how our country is built upon it. They're just not going to be informed citizens, and it's completely in their right to have access to this information.
I think it's important for folks to understand that this is not new, but this is going on all along. And just because it's not your experience doesn't mean that it's not a real experience that's happening. I am hopeful, and I do think that we can make a difference when we come together. Sometimes I am overwhelmed with hope because the students are taking it seriously. They're digging in, so that even on a bad day, I can still say, hey, I have 2 classes of students that are bringing about change. The multiplicative of that process enables us to throw every starfish on the sands back into the ocean.